If you're a diehard Browns fan and love breaking down the game like we do, hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell so you never miss a blitz. Cleveland Browns fans woke up on Wednesday with a new source of concern as the team's star offensive lineman, Joel Bitonio, missed practice due to a back injury, putting a question mark on his availability for Sunday's crucial matchup against the Green Bay Packers. This news hits particularly hard because the Browns are entering a tall task, hosting a Packers team led by Micah Parsons, whose ability to disrupt offenses has already made waves this season. Parsons, acquired from the Dallas Cowboys before the start of the season, is 26 years old and has quickly become a cornerstone of Green Bay's pass rush, already recording 1.5 sacks in just 2 games. The combination of Parsons' athleticism and the Browns' offensive line struggles could turn Sunday's game into a nightmare scenario if Bitonio is unable to suit up. On Wednesday, the Browns' injury report revealed that only Bitonio and return specialist DeAndre Carter, who is in concussion protocol, were unable to practice. While this is only a snapshot in the week leading up to the game, it immediately raises alarms because the Browns have shown just how fragile their offense can be without full strength along the line. Bitonio, a 33-year-old veteran, has been one of the most reliable players on the team for over a decade. Missing him would not just weaken the offensive line. It would leave quarterback Joe Flacco and the running game vulnerable against a defense that has already demonstrated its ability to create chaos. The Browns have started the season 0-2, and their offensive performance so far has been underwhelming at best. They have yet to surpass 20 points in a single game this season, and the lack of production has exposed some worrying trends, particularly in the running game. The offensive line has struggled to open holes for the backfield, forcing Flacco to carry more responsibility than he should. While Flacco has generally managed to keep clean pockets long enough to make plays, the pressure has been there, and each hit he absorbs chips away at the confidence and rhythm of the passing attack. Losing a key player like Bitonio, who has been an anchor on the line for years, would only exacerbate these issues, especially against a relentless edge rusher like Parsons. The challenge for the Browns is twofold. First, they must figure out how to contain Parsons and prevent him from turning the game into a one-man highlight reel. Second, they must find a way to revive the running game, which has been sputtering to start the season. Rookie running back Quinshon Judkins showed glimpses of promise during the loss in Baltimore, totaling 61 yards on 10 carries. It was a bright spot in an otherwise disappointing game, but it's clear that Judkins is still adjusting to the speed and complexity of the NFL. Fellow rookie Dylan Sampson saw only 4 carries and gained 6 yards, highlighting the limited impact the Browns' running game has made so far. Without Bitonio in the lineup, creating consistent running lanes becomes an even taller order. Bitonio's career with the Browns has been defined by durability and consistency. Since being drafted in the second round in 2014, he has been one of the most dependable linemen in the league. He started every game last year, missed only 2 in 2023, and has been a constant presence on the Browns' offensive front since 2016. That kind of reliability is rare in the NFL, and his potential absence on Sunday would leave a gaping hole both in talent and experience. Bitonio himself has contemplated retirement in the past, particularly after the team's disastrous 3-win season last year. However, in an exclusive interview with Big Play Sports Network before this season, he made it clear that he wanted to play one more year at a high level, emphasizing his desire to participate in meaningful games in December and January. His commitment to the team and to his own standards of performance cannot be overstated, making his potential injury all the more concerning for Cleveland's coaching staff and fans alike. The timeline for Bitonio's return is still unclear. The Browns hope to see him at practice on Thursday and during the team walkthrough on Friday. These sessions will be crucial for evaluating whether the veteran lineman can take the field against Green Bay. If he is unable to participate in practice, it will cast serious doubt on his game day availability. Even if he returns in limited capacity, the coaching staff will have to carefully gauge whether he is fully ready to face one of the league's most dynamic pass rushers. The stakes are high, as the Browns cannot afford to compromise their offensive line against Parsons, whose presence alone demands constant attention from blockers and quarterbacks alike. Sunday's matchup has all the makings of a litmus test for Cleveland's offense. Joe Flacco, while experienced and generally resilient in the pocket, has been sacked 4 times already this season. While that number may not seem alarming in isolation, it reflects the pressure and challenges the offensive line has faced without consistent interior support. Parsons, combined with Green Bay's defensive schemes, could exploit any weakness, making Bitonio's potential absence a pivotal factor. The offensive line's performance will likely dictate the pace and rhythm of the entire game, impacting not only passing but also rushing attempts. Cleveland's ability to execute effectively on both fronts will depend heavily on whether the team can keep Flacco upright and create meaningful running opportunities. In addition to the line, Cleveland's young running backs are under a microscope. Judkins, while promising, is still acclimating to professional play, and Sampson has yet to make a significant contribution. Both rookies will need every advantage possible, including strong blocking up front, to have any chance of generating consistent yardage. Without Bitonio, the responsibility may fall on less experienced players, which could lead to miscommunications, blown assignments, and ultimately, stalled drives. The Browns' coaching staff will need to adjust quickly, balancing player health with the necessity of fielding a competitive lineup capable of slowing down Green Bay's aggressive pass rush. The pressure is compounded by the Browns' early season record. At 0-2, the team has already found itself in a precarious position, with fans expecting improvements and tangible progress. Offensive struggles have been glaring, and the absence of a key lineman could further highlight existing deficiencies. Meanwhile, Green Bay is entering the matchup with momentum and a defense eager to capitalize on any vulnerability. Parsons' ability to pressure the quarterback, combined with his knack for disrupting offensive schemes, makes Cleveland's situation even more precarious. Every missed assignment or misstep could be magnified under the scrutiny of a hungry Packers defense and a fanbase desperate for a turnaround. Joel Bitonio's experience, leadership, and toughness have been central to Cleveland's offensive identity. His potential unavailability transforms Sunday's game from a challenging matchup into a high-stakes trial of resilience and adaptability. The team's ability to compensate for his absence, or to welcome him back to the lineup, will likely determine not only the flow of the game but the morale of both players and fans. Bitonio has consistently shown an ability to rise to the occasion, and if he can return to practice and ultimately play, his presence could provide the Browns with a crucial stabilizing force against a dominant Green Bay pass rush. As the week progresses, all eyes will be on Cleveland's practice sessions. Thursday and Friday will serve as the deciding moments for the team's preparation and game plan. The coaching staff will need to weigh the risks and benefits carefully, balancing the desire to have their veteran linemen on the field with the long-term health and effectiveness of their roster. Bitonio's return could provide the Browns with a fighting chance to establish a running game, protect Flacco, and slow down Micah Parsons, who has already proven to be one of the most impactful players in the league this season. The narrative of the Browns' week, and potentially their season, could hinge on whether their stalwart left guard is able to get back on the field. In the end, Joel Bitonio's status for Sunday is more than an injury report item. It is a storyline that could define the trajectory of Cleveland's offense. With a struggling team facing a relentless Green Bay defense, his participation could mean the difference between a competitive outing and a lopsided defeat. Fans, analysts, and teammates alike will be watching every practice rep, every walkthrough, and every report leading up to kickoff, hoping that the veteran lineman can answer the call one more time. Cleveland's 0-2 record and offensive woes set the stage for a pivotal game, and Bitonio's availability is the lens through which all hope, strategy, and potential success will be filtered. The Browns need him, the offense needs him, and the fans certainly need him as they look to see whether this season can be salvaged and whether Sunday can mark a turning point against a Packers team eager to assert its dominance. Enjoying the content so far? Smash that like button and drop your take in the comments. We want to hear what you think about the Browns this season. Aaron Donald, the indomitable force of the Los Angeles Rams defensive line, has reportedly shocked the NFL world in what could be the most seismic offseason move in recent memory. Sources close to the league are buzzing with speculation that Donald has agreed to terms with the Cleveland Browns in a deal that, if finalized, would reshape the entire AFC landscape. For years, Donald has been synonymous with the Rams, a cornerstone of a defense that has consistently terrorized quarterbacks and transformed games. His presence alone has been enough to alter offensive schemes across the league. And yet, here we are, facing the possibility that one of the NFL's most feared defensive players might be donning brown and orange next season. Rumors first began circulating quietly last week, with insiders hinting at intense discussions between Donald's representatives and the Browns front office. At first, many fans dismissed the chatter as wishful thinking, a classic case of off-season hype. But as days passed and more details emerged, the murmur grew into a roar. Allegedly, the Browns are offering a deal so unprecedented that even the most cynical NFL analysts are raising their eyebrows. Sources suggest that the agreement includes both a massive salary cap hit and long-term incentives that reflect Donald's status as one of the game's elite. The financial figures whispered in these conversations are staggering, potentially making Donald one of the highest-paid defensive players in league history. But beyond money, the move carries implications that extend far into the strategic realm of the NFL. Cleveland has long been seeking a game-changing defensive presence, someone who can instantly elevate their front seven and bring a new level of intimidation to the field. If these rumors prove true, Aaron Donald is exactly that player. The Browns' defense, historically inconsistent despite flashes of brilliance, would suddenly gain a cornerstone capable of altering every single offensive plan thrown their way. Imagine the scenarios: quarterbacks hesitating, running backs second-guessing holes, offensive coordinators rewriting game plans to account for one man. It's the kind of impact that shifts divisions, that makes playoff runs suddenly plausible in ways they were not before. Of course, the ripple effects wouldn't stop in Cleveland. The NFC West, suddenly lightened of its most fearsome interior linemen, might face a competitive recalibration. The Rams, without Donald, would need to reinvent their defensive identity, perhaps accelerating a rebuild or forcing reliance on emerging talent that may or may not rise to the occasion. NFL fans love these off-season earthquakes, the kind that keep speculation alive through spring and summer. Social media is already ablaze with fan reactions, memes, and endless what-if scenarios. Some are celebrating, convinced that Cleveland has finally cemented its status as a true Super Bowl contender, while others are mourning the potential loss of a player whose dominance has been a fixture of the modern game. The Browns front office, known for its ambitious approach and willingness to spend big, seems undeterred by the magnitude of this rumored deal. In fact, insiders hint that negotiations were unusually smooth, a sign that Donald himself might be intrigued by the opportunity to make a transformative mark in Cleveland. There's talk that Donald sees this as more than just a contract. He envisions a legacy, the chance to take a franchise historically overlooked in championship conversations and thrust it into the national spotlight. Of course, every blockbuster rumor comes with its skeptics. Contract disputes, medical evaluations, and last-minute negotiations have upended even the most solid deals in NFL history. But those close to the situation reportedly emphasize that both sides are highly motivated, suggesting that, barring unforeseen complications, Donald in Cleveland is more than just a pipe dream. It might be inevitable. Analysts are already debating the tactical ramifications. How would Cleveland deploy a player like Donald? Would they adjust their scheme to maximize his pass-rushing prowess, or keep him versatile enough to dominate the interior run game? And what does this mean for the rest of the AFC North? Pittsburgh, Baltimore, and Cincinnati suddenly face a defensive juggernaut that could redefine divisional rivalries. The intrigue is not just on the field. The marketing potential alone is off the charts. Aaron Donald's name on Browns merchandise could ignite a surge in ticket sales and social media engagement, transforming the team's profile overnight. Fans and commentators alike are speculating about the locker room dynamic, with some wondering how Donald's leadership style and reputation for excellence will mesh with an already talented roster. Rumors suggest a mix of excitement and cautious optimism among current Browns players, all aware that adding someone of Donald's caliber is a double-edged sword, immense opportunity paired with heightened expectations. Meanwhile, the NFL media machine is operating at full throttle, dissecting every leaked detail, every cryptic social media post, and every subtle nod from team insiders. Podcasts, Twitter threads, and video breakdowns are proliferating at a dizzying pace, all attempting to quantify what Donald in Cleveland could truly mean. There's speculation about how this might influence draft strategy, salary cap maneuvering, and even coaching decisions. Some insiders are floating the idea that this deal signals a broader shift in the NFL's defensive market, a message that elite players are willing to move where opportunity and compensation align, regardless of long-standing loyalties. The ripple effect extends internationally as well. NFL fans around the globe are tuning in, eager to witness a potential league-altering signing. Fantasy football enthusiasts are already recalculating defensive points, while betting lines may soon reflect the seismic impact of this potential acquisition. Despite the frenzy, caution remains. Until the ink is dry and Donald officially dons Browns gear, every report is tinged with uncertainty. But for now, the buzz is undeniable, electrifying, and impossible to ignore. From casual fans to diehard analysts, the NFL world is collectively holding its breath, imagining the chaos, the dominance, and the spectacle that Aaron Donald could bring to Cleveland. It's more than a rumor. It's a tantalizing glimpse at a new era of football, one in which the Browns are no longer merely contenders, but a team capable of reshaping expectations across the entire league. If this deal closes, it won't just be a headline. It will be a defining moment, a story retold for years as the day Aaron Donald shook the NFL to its core and changed the trajectory of an entire franchise. As the rumor mill continues to churn, one thing is certain. The NFL offseason will never feel the same, and every Browns game next year could be viewed through the lens of one monumental, career-defining decision. Fans, analysts, and even rivals can only speculate, but the excitement, the drama, and the sheer possibility of Donald in brown and orange have already created a narrative too compelling to ignore. The league is on edge, waiting for confirmation, and in that anticipation lies a story of ambition, power, and the relentless pursuit of greatness that defines Aaron Donald's career, a career that might just be entering its most thrilling chapter yet. Thanks for riding with us on another Browns Blitz. If you liked the video, share it with a fellow fan, hit subscribe, and ring that bell so you're always part of the Dawg Pound conversation. Go Browns!